Hi guys, welcome back to another Liverpool video. It's going to do things slightly differently today. I'm going to actually watch the game's highlights of the ones I haven't talked about and kind of react as we watch them. So just to kind of get a little bit more in depth in the game rather than just talk about the actual result itself. So there will of course be other things we're going to talk about. Liverpool Atalanta is the first, Brighton Liverpool is the second, Liverpool Ajax is the third. New kits again is something else I'd like to talk about for next season, which I know is early, but there's been a few leaks and a few rough ideas floating around online. In terms of the reason I left it this late for this video, I wanted to see after match day 5 of the Champions League sort of the possible opponents we're going to be getting, and after match day 5 you can have a pretty good idea in terms of the knockout. Now we've qualified, which I'll get onto. Wolves preview as well for this Sunday, a bit about Football Manager, and a little bit about the Anfield Road extension and about the injuries that seem to be going on and on and on. So without further ado, first one I'm going to watch is Liverpool Atalanta. Obviously, this is a chance for Liverpool to go through in the Champions League as group winners with 2 games to spare. And yeah, personally, I think Klopp basically got it wrong. So I'm just looking at the team lineup here. Obviously, Alisson was in goal, which is fine. Matip was at the back with Reece Williams, which already is a bit dodgy. He's then played Nico Williams and he's played Tsimikas. So already you've got 3 of the back 5 are a bit dodgy, aren't they? He's then got Milner, Wijnaldum and Jones, which pretty good. And you've got Mane, Origi and Salah, and Origi is just so ineffective lately. So yeah, I personally didn't like that. I looked at the bench. You've got, I knew Robertson needed a rest, but you had Robertson, Jota, Firmino, Fabinho all sitting there on the bench watching the game. So yeah, we'll get into the game. I'm just going to watch it as we go. So just see the highlights. Obviously, there wasn't too many goals early on. It was a pretty boring first half, and then obviously the second half got a lot worse, didn't it? So we're just watching this now. Let me just find the goal. Yeah, so here we go. So second half, obviously we're 0-0. A draw wouldn't have been a bad result, but the ball comes in from the left hand side, and yeah, back post, Ilicic dives in and gets the goal, which is not great. I know Ilicic has had a good season last season, and then I think he's had a little bit of problems off the field since then, but it's a ball in from the left-hand side, and yeah, the marking's poor. That's just before we're going to make our 4 substitutes, which again, surely that's bread and butter stuff. You don't make 4 subs at once because it's too much change too soon. So instead of basically getting this game won and having 2 games left to rest everybody, he's decided to try and be clever after we beat them 5-0 away and think, oh, it's going to be easy now. Rests 4 players he didn't need to rest, chucks them on after 55 minutes anyway. They're standing there ready to come on, and they score just before we make the subs. And then as soon as he puts 4 subs on, everyone's not really picked up who they're marking. Atalanta attack again and score straight away. So they score a minute before the subs and a minute after the subs. I mean, it's not rocket science, Jurgen. He's a fantastic manager, of course, but he really got it wrong in this game. So it's another ball in from the left-hand side, header across goal, centre-back's nowhere, Reece Williams, and yeah, it's an open goal for Atalanta. So yeah, really disappointing with that result. Obviously, we had a few games to play with. We're already through as group winners now, which softens it a bit, but I just didn't really understand, why would you rest players in this game to then risk having to win, one of the next games when you've already got the option to wrap up the group. And Atalanta, I know, we beat them 5-0 away. Yes, I totally get that, but they're a good team and they learned from that. They came back, they had a game plan, they closed us down, they changed formation, and they really, did a number on us. To be brutally honest, it wasn't ideal. So yeah, pretty disappointing. I think Klopp just got that one wrong. I'm not necessarily blaming any particular players. The ones that were playing were inexperienced, and the ones that came on, were just chucked on at 1-0 down and then instantly scored because he made too many changes at once, which is a real disappointment. So I'm just going to find the Brighton highlights, which obviously was a 1-1 draw. Again, fuming to be fair. Obviously this one's only a minute long, so we'll watch this game all the way through. So Connolly was 1-on-1 pretty early on, should have scored, and didn't. But the lineup Liverpool put out was much better, other than I'd say for Minamino, which I don't rate at all. Nico Williams obviously gave away an early penalty, which was a certain penalty. It was really poor. But yeah, another penalty that's missed the target, which I think's becoming a bit of a theme with Liverpool facing penalties. But Malpay gave Alisson the eyes, and yeah, just put it wide of the post, which was really poor. We then had a good chance in the first half. Firmino flicked it over the defence. Salah finished it off. Completely fine goal. Then they do the old stupid VAR where it's a millimetre offside, if that, and they disallow the goal, which is pathetic. So for me, that should have stood. Jota then did score an absolutely fantastic goal. He just keeps on going. Jota is class. He's easily better than Firmino, so he should be in that front three. Mane then scored a goal as well from a free kick, which I do think was offside. If we look back at this one, just want to remind myself, another VAR decision, but I think this one was a little bit more clear cut this time. Yeah, it was. And then right at the end, Welbeck sort of stretches for the ball. Robertson goes to clear it. Welbeck goes down like he's been shot with a sniper. No Brighton player even reacts to calling it for a penalty. They look at a VAR. Welbeck's dragged his foot. Robertson's gone to kick the ball. He has kicked Welbeck's foot, but Welbeck's not gone over. He's gone over after that. And to give a penalty like that in a 92nd minute, for me, is criminal. Completely decided the game. Brighton score, 1-1, no time to come back. Honestly, I'm up to here with VAR now. I just don't understand why there's no common sense with the handball rule and the offside rule. Why is it so sad? Like, handball, you can't, apparently you can score with the sleeve part of your arm now. Okay, and then you can be offside with your arm, the top of your arm. If there's no clear advantage, you're not going to score with your arm. There's no clear advantage gained from being 0.01 millimetre offside, is there? So why are we disallowing so many goals? It's just such a waste of everybody's time. Football is about goals. Don't disallow them for nothing. Just, if everybody's goals count like that, then everyone's going to be happy. I don't understand why we have to draw little lines on the screen. If you have to draw a line, then it's not clear and obvious, is it? So stick with the on-field decision. If you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah, you can clearly tell he's offside, then give it offside. Like, surely we need, even if they want to keep it black and white and not just do it on a case-by-case basis and have a set rule, why don't we put the daylight thing back in again? There has to be daylight between them. At least then you've given the benefit of the doubt to the striker. There's got to be they've got to surely insert a minimum distance that you can be offside and say, if it's 10 millimetres, then, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If you're, half a step offside, then you're offside. Let's measure that up and say, a foot offside, half a foot is offside, less than half a foot, it's okay. That, I think everybody would be happy with that. And, handball, for example, with, going back to Gomez against Man City, unless it's deliberate, it shouldn't be a foul. If it's obviously deliberate or it's obviously stopped something happening that shouldn't have, that you've got away with, you've gained an unfair advantage, fine. If someone just boots it at you or crosses and it hits your arm against your body, what are you supposed to do? You'll defend him with your arms behind your back. Oh, God, so annoying. And the Robertson one, has he stopped Welbeck scoring a goal? No. But the play's already gone. Welbeck's already lost control of the ball and he's already gone past Robertson. Robertson goes to clear the ball. All right, he catches his foot. But how is that a penalty? How was that stopped a goal-scoring chance? Welbeck's not in possession of the ball. He's not going to be in possession of the ball. He's running past it. He stays on his feet because the connection isn't even that much. And then he thinks, oh, hang on, if I just go down, got something here, and they get a penalty, which for me was a joke. So, yeah, not happy after those two results. So it was important to bounce back, wasn't it, with a win. We played Ajax on Tuesday night, which I will just bring up now. See if I can find some highlights for it. Here we go. So, where's it gone? This one. Let me find it. Where's it gone? So, obviously Curtis Jones scored the goal, which I'll get onto in a moment when I can find the game. Would have been a few. Maybe it's not up yet. Let's have a look. Where's it gone? So, there we go. Right, okay. So, in terms of the teams, the lineup was much better. Klopp decided that actually, we do actually want to go through. It's becoming one of them where if we was going to lose this game, it was then we had to go and get something at Midtjylland, or if we drew this game, we wouldn't be guaranteed top spot. Atalanta managed to get a win, I think, away. Actually, might have even drawn. Let me just check. yeah, it was a 1-1 draw in the end. Late draw for Atalanta, so that obviously meant we didn't even need to win this game in the end, which obviously we did. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great performance again, to be brutally honest. We got the win, yes, a bit like the Ajax away game. We got the result. The performance wasn't brilliant. As I said at the time of the away game, everyone's thinking, saying great performance. Well, it's not. It's a great result, but there's a difference, performance and result. Obviously, we saw Schürrle, who we've been linked with, the centre-back for Ajax, who looks like the new De Ligt. He looked pretty good. So, yeah, fingers crossed we can get him in January. Maybe for under 30 million, which would be an absolute steal. Young Dutch defender. Definitely in need of a centre-back. You can't be playing for Williams and Phillips past January. So hopefully we get that one done, or at least someone of that ilk. But yeah, the main shock of the Liverpool Ajax team lineup was Kelleher starting the game, wasn't it? Which was a bit bizarre. So obviously Alisson has been suddenly, he's got another injury, he's out for another 2 weeks. Literally the most injury-prone goalkeeper I think I have ever known. It's such a shame because he's such a good goalkeeper, but honestly, he's just so injury-prone lately, and it's just not good enough. Honestly, he needs to sort himself out. And the fact that Adrian didn't come in was quite unbelievable. You're thinking he's put Kelleher in the Champions League, and Kelleher's only really ever played in meaningless FA Cup and Carabao Cup against non-league sort of thing. So it was a bit strange to see Kelleher line up, but it's almost Klopp's admitting that don't trust Adrian. He's not good enough. Don't rate him at all. So his contract's up at the end of the season. He's got an option for a further year, but I can't see that being taken up. So yeah, I think Kelleher did a good job. He played well. He made a couple of good saves. Whether I think he should be our reserve goalie already, I'm not too sure. I mean, he's not 18. I think he's 21, 22. So it's a case of he's either going to be a third choice, maybe up to a second, or go out on loan, or even leave the club. So maybe Klopp's made that decision and thinking actually we're going to give him a chance this season. And what a game to give him a chance in, really. I mean, the thing with Kelleher is when he does play, he tends to play in front of a back four with the average age of about 7. So it's difficult to judge him. I think he let 5 goals in a couple of times against Arsenal and Aston Villa, I believe. But yeah, even with a makeshift defence in front of him from the first team, he was really good. So he was one of the main reasons we did manage to get the result against Ajax, which was great. So we basically confirmed that we're going to win the group with the goal from Jones, which was crossed in from the left-hand side. I think it was Nico Williams that crossed it in, which was, like a Trent-esque cross. He cut it back onto his left foot and cut it in. Crossed it in that way. Onana has done a Liverpool goalkeeper trick where he's come out, lost flight of the ball. The amount of times we've seen that kind of mistake from Mignolet, Karius, Adrian. And Jones sort of like flicks it back in across the goal with the outside of his foot. And that's a great goal for Jones. So the Scouts are in our team, ×2. He's got his first FA Cup, Premier League and Champions League goal all in 2020. So a pretty good year for him. So that was really, really good to see. But yeah, Alisson obviously is going to be missing now for maybe the Wolves game and maybe the game after that as well. Obviously, Midtjylland we don't really need him for, but the weekend after that I imagine he'll miss also, which is a real shame. So yeah, on to the Champions League possible opponents then. We'll bring up the Champions League groups. Just wanted to do it a little bit differently today, just to mix it up a bit. Right, so in terms of the Champions League group stages, obviously we've won the group, so we can only get a runner-up of a group, and we can't get an English club, or we can't get the team that was runner-up in our group. So there's only a few options that it could be. Obviously, with one match day to go, the team in second place in these groups could change. So some not so much, some a lot. So it's quite rough. We'll do this again next week when we'll know for sure who's in our pot. But it's a bit of fun for now. Group A, Bayern have run away with it. Obviously, they only lost, I think they even drew one game to Atletico, and they basically played their reserves. So, yeah, Atletico Madrid are looking like they're going to be the runners-up in Group A, which would be a rematch, potentially, of last season's last 16 games. So, I'd really like that one, actually. It's funny because as long as Alisson's fit, and we've got a few players back, because Oblak's a top goalkeeper, but I'd love to have Atletico again and get revenge. I hate their manager so much. But, they've got 6 points. Red Bull Salzburg have got 4, and Lokomotiv Moscow have got 3. I think Lokomotiv Moscow are probably going to be out, but Salzburg could potentially sneak in, but it's looking like Atletico. So that's one possibility. Group B is the craziest group out of everyone. Anyone could still... I think they could still go through or not. I think they could still go through. Yeah, they could. So you've got Mönchengladbach on 8, Shakhtar on 7, Real Madrid on 7, and Inter on 5. So anyone of those could still go through. which is absolutely bizarre. So a crazy group. We could get any of those four. So, I mean, in terms of Mönchengladbach, don't know much about them, but they look a decent side. They've scored 16 goals in the group stages in 5 games, which is quite outrageous. Shakhtar have let in 12, sitting in second, only scored 5 goals, but they've got 7 points. So, yeah, they've been on the end of a few batterings, but they seem to pick up wins here and there. I think Real Madrid was one of the scalps they managed. Madrid, of course, we all know about Real Madrid. Not what they were. They're struggling in the Liga. It'd be a good game, wouldn't it? Last 16 against Real Madrid, Liverpool. I think the last time we played them, obviously other than the final, in a knockout 2-legged game, we had Gerrard and Torres beat them 4-0 at home, I believe, which was one of my favourite ever games for Liverpool. And Inter Milan, sitting on 5, the outsiders probably in this group now, could sneak second. Another good game if we got Inter Milan, Lukaku, Lisandro, Martinez. They've got some good players, so difficult to predict on that one. Group C, Man City have won the group and Porto are second, so we had Porto, I believe, on our way to winning the trophy in the last 16 and wiped them aside. They're not brilliant at all, so that would be a good one. Obviously, our group, we can't get Atalanta or Ajax. Chelsea had a big win last night against Sevilla, so it looks like Sevilla are going to be runners-up in that one. So again, Sevilla are a decent team, but Chelsea done them 4-0 at Sevilla last night, so clearly beatable. So that would be a good one. Group F, you've got Dortmund, Lazio and Bruges all fighting for to go through. Lazio currently in second position. Dortmund or Lazio would be difficult games, but I would say winnable ones. I'd rather have Lazio than Dortmund. Bruges again, the outsiders, but could sneak through, but unlikely with Mignolet and goal. But yeah, any of those 3 is a possibility. Group G, Barca look like they've won the group. Juventus look like they're going to come second. So imagine that, winning your group and getting Juventus in the last 16 with Cristiano Ronaldo. Wow. What a draw that would be. It would be a great spectacle, but maybe save that for the quarter or the semi. Last 16, you want to get a decent draw, don't you? You want to get a team that you can, not necessarily rest players against, but, wipe aside fairly comfortably. You want a reward for coming in the top of the group. And in Group H, Man United currently sit second, but PSG and Leipzig are all on 9 points with United. So obviously, if United come second, we can't get them. But if PSG or Leipzig do, we could get one of those. PSG look like they're going to win the group. So it's either going to be no one in this group that we get if United come second, or if Leipzig manage to beat United on the last match day, we could have them. Again, they've lost Werner. They did quite well last season without Werner as well after lockdown in that kind of mini tournament of the Champions League. So no mugs by all means, but again a game you'd look at and think it's a decent draw compared to potentially getting a Juventus or a Real Madrid or an Atletico. So yeah, really interesting. Obviously we'll be able to confirm next week. The actual teams we could probably get and narrow that down slightly more, which will be really interesting. So other than that, I just wanted to just show you this new kit that I really like. Let me see if I can find it. Right, because it was on a website. Let's see if I can find it. Hang on. 2021/22. 3 headlines. Yeah, so it's not, confirmed by any means, but it looks like there's a kind of a colour scheme confirmed. I'll see if I can find the kit. It's kind of like a cream, and quite a dark red, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but if not, I'll do it on another video. But yeah, the third kit is apparently going to be yellow, with obviously red Nike tick and a red Liverpool badge. Can't say I'm a massive fan of yellow, unless they do it, in a nice way. It doesn't have to be like bright yellow. But yeah, here we go. This is it. So I will just show you quickly, if I can. So let me know if you can see this. So in terms of the kit, this is the kind of away kit colours. So like a cream, and a kind of darker maroony red. And I really like this. I really like that kit. So I'd really like to see us turn out in that kind of kit. I haven't bought an away kit since Adidas days, so it would be really nice. Not because I chose, because I've chosen not to, basically, because I don't like them. But I really like this one with the cream. It reminds me of the away kit, sort of 96, 97, that kind of era. Really nice colour. So I'll definitely get this one. There's the yellow of the third. Goalie kits seem to be green every year. And then, you can see potential mock-ups here. But yeah, the red kit, any kind of Nike red kit is going to be nice. This year's one I didn't like at the start when I first saw it, but it's really grown on me, and I really like it. It's one of my favourite shirts now, which I'll probably wear in the next one, actually. I don't think I've shown you guys my kit yet. But, yeah, you can see this one here, red, almost the cream badge and the cream tick. So, a little bit different. Fair play. Don't just make the same kit every year. Don't make a template every year. So, I really like that. So, that's something to keep an eye on. I'll keep checking the leaks and everything else that might pop up. But, yeah, I really like that. Other than that, we've got Anfield Road extension has been announced straight after the Kirkby training facility is finished, so I cannot fault the owners whatsoever. I was thinking, with COVID, they're probably going to put that on the back burner. But no, it was only because they were finishing Kirkby, which was delayed a bit because of COVID, obviously. And that's all finished. Liverpool obviously moved in, which I've spoken about in previous videos. And yeah, Anfield Road is going to be extended, and the total expansion will make the Anfield capacity 61,000, which is phenomenal. Still, Liverpool could fill that twice per game, obviously after COVID. But yeah, they're going the right way, aren't they? I mean, really, we started at 45, we're up to 61, which is what, 55, about 17k we've added on with one side and one end. So you'd think we could maybe do that again, maybe get up to 78,000, something like that, if we do Anfield, not Anfield End, Cop and these Kenny Dalglish stand could probably do with being redone. So yeah, potentially could be touching 78, 80,000 fans, which would be fantastic. They still need to sort out the allocation and the buying process, because season ticket holders don't let the season ticket go, so they have a monopoly of the tickets. Members don't get a chance. They get 2 sales a year, and if you miss out, you miss out. And honestly, I've queued for hours on there, got up at the break of dawn, and still haven't got a ticket for the last couple of seasons. So they need to sort that out. But yeah, I mean, obviously 80,000 would be, you'd have a lot more chance of getting a ticket. And yeah, it just gives people more of a chance to go. I mean, when the new stand was built originally, I managed to go to a couple of games because of the added capacity, and we were sort of still coming up through this development under Klopp, weren't we? We weren't winning the league. We were coming fourth. We were, title challenge, but obviously now we're the most successful club, or the most successful we've been for quite some time. Obviously, everybody wants to go and watch Liverpool, so it's become not even just Liverpool fans want to go. You want people from all over the world come and watch us now. So it's really, really hard to get tickets, but yeah, that's obviously going the right way. There's 3 more things to talk about. Obviously, we've got Wolves at the weekend on Sunday. That's going to be a really interesting game. Not easy at all. But we are at home, which does help. Wolves are a very good team, especially at home. But yeah, obviously no Alisson, so will he play Adrian at the weekend? Will he play Kelleher? I could not second guess the man. I would be, I don't know, it's weird, because you'd think, okay, maybe he's played Kelleher in the Champions League and he's going to give Adrian a turn in the Prem, or has he decided, no, Kelleher's my backup, because the goalies didn't really need rotating that much? Not really. This time we're playing on a Tuesday and a Sunday, so there's 5 days break rather than 3, or 3 and an early kickoff like Klopp moaned about last week. So yeah, there's options. In terms of defence, Fabinho and Matip, I would think, centre back, left back Robertson. Trent's still not back yet, as far as I can see. I've not heard anything other than that, so you think Nico Williams will continue at right back. Midfield sort of picks itself, only because there's only 3 fit players. It's Henderson, Jones and Wijnaldum. I don't think anyone else is going to play. Maybe Minamino, but I'll get onto him in a minute. And up front, yeah, I mean, Mane and Salah are a certainty. And who does he play out of Firmino and Jota? I think it's a coin toss, to be honest. I mean, Firmino came on as a sub against Atalanta. Jota did start, so maybe he'll flip it round and have Firmino starting and Jota coming on as a sub. I'm not sure, but again, a bit like the goalie situation, it's 50-50. It's, Klopp likes to spring a surprise or two, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, obviously Wolves have got some good players. I think Jota would like to play against his old team. Whether Klopp will put him in against his old team and he'll be fired up or remove him completely, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be a good game. It's a game that we can win, and with Tottenham playing Arsenal, it's a game that if we do win, we could finish the weekend top of the league outright, which would be great. I'm not relying on Arsenal for a second because they are absolutely shocking, but in a derby, anything can happen, so we'll see. But yeah, that's that. In terms of injuries, I actually did an injured XI. I got 9, so I'll quickly show you. I don't know, it might flip round on here, and all the names might be backwards, but there we go. So that's my injured XI. So we've got Alisson in goal, Milner, Van Dijk, Gomez and Trent as the back 4. Targo, Keita and Ox with Shaqiri. So we're only too short of an injured 11. So it just shows you, we're top of the Premier League joint. We are already qualified in first place in the Champions League. So with that many injuries, it's pretty phenomenal, isn't it? That we're still managing to top pretty much everything we're currently in. So yeah, that's really good. But it just shows you why we won the league by so much last year when we had the likes of Van Dijk, Trent. Obviously Thiago's new, but Gomez, Alisson, constantly in that team. I know Alisson missed the start of the season last year, but after that he was, all the way through. So yeah, it just shows you that it makes a big difference when you lose these kind of players, but we're still managing to do it. So whether we can limp across the line and still win the Prem as players return, I mean, in terms of timescales, Alisson and Trent I think are back in a couple of weeks. Gomez and Van Dijk for the season. Milner's probably 3 weeks. Chamberlain, I just don't know. I love Chambo, but he's just constantly injured. Same as Shaqiri, he comes in, plays well, and he's out for 4 weeks. Keita, I've just given up on. 60 mil, he's a flop. I can't defend him anymore. And Thiago, apparently he's out till January, so that's another 4 weeks for him as well. So Alisson and Trent are going to be back first. At least that will shore up the defence a bit. But yeah, the rest, I mean, Milner's out for a while. He comes in now and again, but Chamberlain, Keita and Shaqiri don't play anyway, even if they are fit and the time they get a chance, or if other people are injured and they will get a chance, they're injured anyway. So complete waste of time having them in the team. So that leads me nicely onto the Football Manager buy and sell. So let me just get up the Liverpool squad and I shall go through a little bit of transfer business because the January transfer window is not far away at all. So I've got the new Football Manager 2021, which I've been playing. FM Touch for me is better, it's streamlined. So if you've not tried that one out, have a go. The main FM is really, really detailed. It does take a while, but FM Touch is a streamlined version. It's tactics, transfers and games. That's all you need, in my opinion. But yeah, in terms of the squad, obviously Alisson is my goalie. I've sold Adrian straight away, and Kelleher's the reserve goalie for now. I've put him in the reserve team, but I brought in Nick Pope, which I thought was good and quite realistic. I mean, obviously he's probably not going to leave Burnley at this moment because he's trying to get in the England squad for the Euros, which he will do. But if Burnley go down, which is certainly a possibility, potentially Pope might be looking for a move. Will he go to a team and become a first choice goalkeeper? Potentially. Burnley are going to want a lot of money for him. I managed to get him for about 23 million. And yeah, he's great. He's a good shot stopper. I play Alisson Becker as a sweeper keeper, but I put Pope in there as a shot stopper. So I'm quite happy with those two as my goalkeepers. In terms of defenders, obviously Van Dijk is my main man at the back. I've paired him with Upamecano from Red Bull, which was again not too expensive. I think 41 million was his buyout clause, which today is easy money. I did look at Koulibaly, but I wanted someone in young that was worth it long term, because if I brought in a Koulibaly, I'd only have to replace him again in 3 or 4 years. So long term was Upamecano, which he's done very well. Robertson and Trent, obviously, in my fullbacks. I've loaned out Nico Williams. I've tried to sell Joel Matip 100 times, but no one wants him. Kostas Tsimikas, I've managed to sell in the January window. Which, yeah, all right, I've made an early judgment on Tsimikas because he's not played much for us. He's been injured. He's come in, and to be fair, he looks like he's half asleep every time they cut to him. He's sort of like, his eyes and stuff. It just doesn't fill me with any confidence. And he's going to be compared to Robertson, which, of course, he is, but he's nowhere near. I'm not sure why we brought this guy in. Honestly, I think we could have got better left backs out there. Like Gaia, for example, was someone I'm probably looking at in the future on my game from Valencia. So I'll have a look at that. Obviously in the future, and then again right back. Obviously, I've loaned Nico out at the moment, but probably looking long term for a better right backup to swap about with Trent. So that's that from me. I've sold Sepp van den Berg, Nat Phillips, and Reece Williams is still in the reserves because he's only young. In terms of midfield, obviously Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Thiago are all still there for me. I have sold Milner just because he's 34 and he had a big wage, which got me 6 million in the budget back for letting him go to Chelsea. I sold Keita for 40 million. As I say, I'm just done with the guy. He's decent on FM ratings wise, but for me, he comes in, he plays all right, he gets injured, he comes in, doesn't do much, gets injured, comes in, gets injured. That's just had it with him. Don't rate him. Henderson is still in there, top player. Chambo, I'm trying to sell because, quite realistic, he's injured 24/7 on Football Manager. You put him in the team, and he literally gets an injury during that first game back, whether that's an orange knock or a red come off. So completely pointless. Jones have loaned out. Be interesting to see how he comes back. I think he had a value of about 7 mil. So if I've loaned him out, hopefully he'll come back. And I think he's at Middlesbrough. Hopefully he will come back. And yeah, a bit like Harry Wilson, we all thought he was going to be loaned out and come back and be brilliant. And he's been loaned out again to a worse team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the loan brigade returning in the summer for the second season, because Grujic, etc. Wilson, I can get lots of money for. Shaqiri I also sold, again, as I've said, too injury prone and not great when he does get in the team. He's all right, but he'll get an assist or a goal and then he won't play again for 6 weeks. So I've sold him for 35 million to China, which was great. Into the front three then. My last signing, I got Erling Haaland for 82 mil. He was my big signing. Put him through the middle. On the left, you've got Mane. On the right, you've got Salah and Jota coming in, switching with those. Firmino obviously is a backup striker and can play cam, and I've played him on the wings as well. Minamino I sold to Dortmund for 11 million, and Origi I sold, I can't remember where he went now, but about 15, 16 million, something like that. I think it might have been Inter Milan. So yeah, again, I don't rate Origi. So all my money is spent. I've got about 11 million left in the budget, and I think I'll get about 65 million in the summer. So probably be looking at a left back, a backup right back. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep Gomez or not. Again, he's average for me. He's okay. He does well next to Van Dijk, but yeah, obviously on his own, he did show he's not really that good on his own to do a defence. He's not that young, and he's injury prone again. So potentially keep him. If I sell Matip, maybe I'd look to add a few backup defenders. Maybe add an extra midfielder as well, and maybe an extra winger too. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that career. Man United are like 10 points clear after 20 odd games. I'm not sure why they made them so good on this game, but I'm in second. So yeah, I'll give you an update on that one shortly. But yeah, in terms of the loan brigade, the likes of Grujic, Karius, I think probably contract up in the end of the season anyway. But yeah, Woodburn, Wilson, I'll look to sell, and hopefully Harvey Elliott comes back with an improved ratings, and I might loan him out again. That's how young he is. So yeah, that's been keeping me going for a little while in the evenings. But yeah, other than that, I think that's everything. It's a bit of a longer video today, but there was quite a lot to cover, which I feel I've covered pretty well. And I'll catch you soon. Take care, guys.